They call me the Wig.
No, they don't.
They call me Wiggy.
Nope.
Bill Wiggins.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Time for my breakdown of His Last Vow. Thank you so much for your patience. These are a lot of fun to make, so I try to take a little extra time just to make them that much better. If you're finding me for the first time or you haven't seen any of my Sherlock videos before, this is just going to be a breakdown of all the canon references in the episode, as well as just some interesting facts about the production. Careful for the east wind if you haven't seen the episode yet. I mean spoilers. Careful for spoilers. So here we go. Number 1, the director, Nick Horan. Horan also directed the Doctor Who 50th anniversary episode, The Day of the Doctor. Number 2, Charles Augustus Madison. He's a direct reference to Charles Augustus Milverton. He was Doyle's master blackmailer, and a few of Magnuson's character traits are taken directly from the book character, like his glasses and his creepy, affable nature. Number 3, notice the heads-up display. This isn't a canon reference, but it is the worst Google Glass ad ever. And later we find out it actually has nothing to do with the glasses, but cybernetic implants. I guess that makes him part Cyberman. Number 4, speaking of Doctor Who, notice the woman he's scanning. That's Lindsay Duncan, who played Adelaide Brooke during Waters of Mars. Later, she even remarks about how wet Magnuson's hands feel. Number 5, notice Cam's license plate. It almost looks like it says, I can. During the episode, Cam states that he does things just because he can. Number 6, Claire de la Lune. The perfume serves as connective tissue between Lady Smallwood, Cam, Mary, and Sherlock. It's French for light of the moon and was a lullaby with a very sexual double entendre. In the episode, it just represents the dual identity that Mary has. Number 7, the man with the twisted lip. This is an easy one, but starting from the beginning, a woman comes in to visit Mary looking for her son, Isaac Whitney. Watson thinks it's her husband. In the book, it was actually her husband. Number 8, the drug den. Also in the twisted lip, Watson finds Sherlock Holmes while looking for the woman's husband, whose name is Isaac Whitney. In the canon, Holmes was mostly a cocaine user, but he also used morphine and visited the occasional opium den. Note that all these drugs were perfectly legal in late 19th century England. Now that sounds like a party. Number 9, call me Sheza. Sherlock uses it as his undercover name. In the novel His Last Vow, Holmes also uses an undercover name. It's Altamont, the middle name of Conan Doyle's father. Number 10, they call me Wiggy. Billy Wiggins is 2 canon characters merged into one. Billy was the name of Holmes' page boy. He was in the Valley of Fear, the Problem of the Thor Bridge, and the Mazarin Stone. Wiggins was the leader of the Baker Street Irregulars. He appeared in Study in Scarlet and Sign of 4. Number 11. When Sherlock is describing Magnuson to Watson, his speech, "When you stand before the serpents of the zoo," is lifted directly from the book. Number 12. Cross-dressing would have been a wiser path for you. In canon, Holmes did this at least 3 times, including The Adventure of Black Peter, The Adventure of the Final Problem, and Adventure of the Empty House. Number 13. Where should we be looking? In canon, Holmes used to hide shag tobacco in the toe of his Persian slipper. We actually saw Cumberbatch's Sherlock hide cigarettes in the toe of a slipper during Sign of 3. 14. You've got a girlfriend. The canon Holmes got engaged to Milverton's housemaid as part of his case. Technically though, Janine really didn't have time to accept Sherlock's proposal in the episode, thanks to a swift blow to the head. Number 15. Mrs. Hudson's rap sheet. When Magnuson scans Mrs. Hudson, he learns that her original name was Sissons. She's only a semi-reformed alcoholic and a former exotic dancer. Notice the C file note. Later, Sherlock makes a similar reference and Mrs. Hudson accuses him of YouTubing. So somewhere in the world of the show, there's a young naked Mrs. Hudson dancing her way across YouTube. And she has a bit of a problem with marijuana. Number 16, breaking and entering. Sherlock and Watson also break into Milverton's home in the canon. Number 17, the east wind is coming. Holmes says this in Last Bow. It means the great change is coming. In the canon, it was actually referring to the advent of World War I. In the context of the show, after Sherlock is shot, the east wind represents death. But later in the episode, it's the specter of Moriarty. Number 18, Redbeard. We finally learned that Redbeard was Sherlock's childhood dog who had to be put to sleep. Number 19, Sussex Downs. Janine sells the story to the tabloids and buys a cottage in Sussex Downs, with a bit of a bee problem. In the canon, Holmes retires to a farm in Sussex Downs and keeps bees as a hobby. Number 20, bolt holes. Sherlock Holmes has 6 known bolt holes, including Parliament Hill, Camden Lock, Dagmar Court, the Blind Greenhouse in Kew Gardens, the Leaning Tomb in Hampstead Cemetery, Behind the Clock Face in Big Ben, and Leinster Gardens. 21. The Lie in Leinster Gardens. The fake house is a reference to the story Empty House, which deals with what hides behind facades. 22. The Dynamics of Combustion. We learn that Sherlock and Mycroft's mother was a genius mathematician before retiring to raise a family, thus becoming the source of all genius on the show. 23. AGRA. In canon, the sign of 4 includes a treasure plot originating in Agra, India. 24. Why do you hate him so much? Canon Holmes would often take justice into his own hands when he felt the law could not. During the Milverton adventure, Holmes allows Milverton to be shot by another person without trying to stop her, because he considers the killing to be justified. In the episode, Sherlock did it himself, but the spirit is the same, thus fulfilling his last vow. 25. Sherlock Holmes, Dragon Slayer. Sherlock says to Mycroft, "Is that what you think of me?" referring to Magnuson as the dragon in question. But before his last vow was shot, Cumberbatch had just completed filming his role as Smaug the Dragon on Hobbit Part 2, also starring Martin Freeman. In the same conversation, Mycroft tells Sherlock he shouldn't take that MI6 job, as he has more utility in England, because here be dragons, implying that he wants Sherlock to take out Magnuson. 26. Let me flick your face. Stephen Moffat actually said that Freeman and Mickelson had to perform this scene several times. The two actors had to find a spot on Freeman's face that Mickelson could flick for hours without Freeman wanting to punch Mickelson at the end of the day. 27. Unreliable narrator. Sherlock calls himself a high-functioning sociopath several times, but he specifically acts in the interests of his own friends, which is completely out of character for an actual sociopath. I wonder what else he's been lying to us about. 28. The other one. Mycroft and Sherlock have an older brother named Sharonford. He isn't part of the actual canon, but a noted Holmes scholar theorized his existence based on facts from the books. So technically, the other one only exists as a theory. 29. Undercover work. In canon, Holmes went undercover for the English war effort during the beginning of World War I. 30. Did you miss me? The image shown of Moriarty is of him wearing the same suit from Reichenbach Fall. There are a lot of theories about whether it's him or whether it's not, and it's just someone using his image. But I'm going to save a lot of that for my Series 4 predictions video. Be sure to subscribe to get it. Also, if you guys want, I'll do another Q&A video after I post that Series 4 predictions video. If there are any canon references or cool things that you saw in the episode that I didn't mention in the video, just write them below in the comments. Don't forget, I'm doing Musketeers videos with Peter Capaldi starting this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, you can click here to get my breakdown of Episode 2 and click here to get my breakdown of Episode 1. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.